Good evening and a very warm welcome from all of us at TLC. I thought what better way to begin this evening than by two stalwarts across in this city who have enjoyed the life and a community known as YPO. The positives, the negatives that comes with the community. YPO is an amazing institution I have emulated always, and it's impacted thousands of people across the world, EO of which I am a member. These organizations have created communities across the world, and it is these communities that are a game changer in an entrepreneur's life. So my first question would go to the lady. How do you communicate the advantages of a forum, and why should entrepreneurs get into the world of forums?
So as you go up the ladder of success and when you are in business, there is a concept called it's lonely at the top. There's not too many people with whom you can share your issues at work or even in your personal life, because both are very well connected, and let me tell you that. So I think this is a unique platform in a forum where you get your own board of directors who do not advise you, but help you clear the fog index and help you to pass through your difficult times and also prepare yourself for success.
So from which year you've been a part of YPO?
From 2005, when it was founded in Hyderabad.
Lovely. So Hyderabad chapter 2005. So almost about 17 years now.
Yes, I've been in forum
And
for 17 years.
How many? So in a forum you've been for 17
years.
And it's the same forum?
I've been in the same forum.
That's the problem. Most people find it very difficult to understand because a human brain is hardwired to understand forums. Yeah, I went to a CIO forum, 200 of us were there, for 3 days we were together. And they don't understand that a forum consists only of 6 to 10 people or 11 people at best.
Yeah. Some of the members have changed. We were 8 to 10 people. We still are 9 people in our forum. 3 of us continue for last 17 years.
Wow. So, but most often forum members don't change. There are forums which have been the same for last 15 years and they don't move.
And there's nothing wrong even if it changes,
right,
because it brings in new dynamics to the group, and the format and the ethics of how it works remains the same.
Super. Yeah, there's a guidelines laid out across.
The structure is, and we need to follow the structure. That's the format.
So, being a part of a community like YPO or any other private community, has it really impacted your life?
Quite a bit. So there are many communities here, as you call it. One of them is CII. That's an industrial body. Then you have the Indus entrepreneurs. So it's basically Indians and South Asians all over the world. It's a community of these people. Then we have YPO, which is a very specialized sort of community of CEOs from all over the world. Actually, they say that the total GDP or the net worth of these people is the third largest. If you combine all of them, it's the third largest in the world. So that's how big YPO is. Then we have EVO, where Jimmy is also a member. Then we also have CEO Club, which is there in 2 or 3 places in India, but it's there all over. So all of them, or most of them other than CII, because that's an industrial body, we all have some sort of forum. So in YPO, we call it forum. In Thai, at least in Thai Hyderabad, we call them as cohorts. And in CEO Club, they are called inner circle. So the main ingredients of a forum is that there is a set of 8 or 9 or 10 members who are brought together, and there are certain rules that we follow when we establish a forum. There should not be any conflict of interest between the members, say 9 of them, right? So there should not be any conflict of interest, number 1. Number 2, confidentiality is the highest. So all these 9 take a oath that they will never discuss anything outside. And there is a higher level of confidentiality called Attila the Hun. That this is very specific to YPO. There was this king called Hun. He used to keep the secrets, but somehow he wants to tell it to somebody. He used to tell it to his friend and chop off his head. That's how confidential it is, you know. So we say sometimes, we say something which is so much part of our life. So we declare that this is Attila the Hun. So you can understand when there is confidentiality, you open up. And when there is no conflict, you open up. Because there is no conflict between, if suppose 3 of us are in one forum, we don't belong to the same business. we don't do business together. So I can open up about my business, talk everything, right? So we basically discuss about three things in a forum: personal, family, and a business. So all three things we give the update initially. So there is a format to follow. And there are many exercises we do to improve ourselves. So as Shobha said, at the helm of affairs in your company, you don't have any peers. You can't disclose to your colleagues certain things that you want to. So you need somebody to bounce off. And then you get help from the other members. So there is another important thing, that in a forum, nobody will give advice. They only do experience sharing. This is the most important thing. So if it is advice, what happens, like friends, you have a problem, is the friend will say, okay, you do like this, I'm advising you. So when you advise, it is judgmental. So, and there is absolutely no judgment, by the way. So when you want to help a friend within a forum, you have to only do experience sharing. Okay, this happened to me, this is how I have tackled it. So then what happens is everyone is treated as equal. So I think DLC is also trying to have the same format, and they also call it as forum instead of inner circle and cohorts and all that. So I presume, Jimmy, it will be similar to what YPO and EVO has. EVO also has a similar setup. Thank you, sir.
So I'll explain to you the difference. Of course, like I said earlier, we emulate YPO, EVO, we really look up to them because I have personally gained tremendously. However, we have 25 years of forums. The format has not been disrupted. So we started talking to forum facilitators like Mo Fatlab, who's set up Harvard Business School forums, Dr. Amir Kafir, these are legends, Tom in New York. 40 of them, we've convinced them that we are not trying to be another wannabe YPO, but we have a very genuine approach towards disrupting some of the processes that need to be changed. Incorporating technology within the world of forums, because with COVID advent, what happened was suddenly forums went online, and now people realize that online is not really value adding and we should all move back to physical. Now every forum is more or less digital. Somebody is always traveling, somebody is online, and the rest of the people are physical. However, there are things within the forums that have worked very well through the years and things which have not worked. Organizational forums have not worked, inter-organizational forums are happening, inter-family forums are happening. So there's a lot of new things that we are doing within the world of forums within DLC. With these new forum facilitators, we mandated the processes. Instead of copying your YPO, we've created our own processes. And not just change them or tweak them, but trying to disrupt them. Also, the application that we are developing, which has not gone live, which will go live, which will really make forum facilitators a couple of jobs redundant, like a timekeeper. You don't need a timekeeper. You don't decide who goes next in an update, but the system decides who goes next. These are some of the basic things we brought across. Also, confidentiality reminder, instead of being at the end of the forum, it is at the beginning of the forum, it is at the end of the forum. So we are doing a format where beginning and end both ways, we remind of confidentiality. No pillow talk is allowed. That's very, very critical across. That gives comfort level to people when the downtake has happened. How do you explain to a person who doesn't understand anything about forums? 1, 2, 3 things, top 3 things that an entrepreneur benefits from a forum. Because people have this mindset, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, I know everybody in the city, I already have a lifestyle, I already know my business, why do I need a forum? And why should I share my secrets? See, secrets shake up people. I don't know why they are so worried. The minute you talk to an entrepreneur that you share your innermost 5% that you don't share with the world, people fail to understand the necessity to share that 5%.
I think most of us here are a privileged lot. Our lives are good. And most of the time, nothing untoward happens. But there will be time, believe you me, when you will need to bounce off your difficult times with somebody, and at that time the forum really comes in so useful. Just it hits you and then you don't know where to go, and that's when the forum, you appreciate how good it is to be in the forum. It's beyond imagination how difficult times it can be and how it comes to help. So that's the most important thing I would say on how difficult times slap you suddenly in life, and then you have this fallback. And that can happen to any one of your 9 members. It doesn't have to be that every time you're going back and you're getting a feedback, but you could be a contributor. So you may be at some time a contributor, but you're also a giver at some point. So that's how it works between the members.
It's a game changer in an entrepreneur's life.
Of course, it's a game changer.
Game changer.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's not just about being in the same business. But, there are so many personal things also, like if you have a cousin with you or if you have a friend with you, you cannot have, that's why the conflict of interest. You cannot have even a relative or even a close friend who knows about your business to be in the same forum. And it's ideal to have somebody completely dispassionately different who you don't know and not like you. Because you get a diverse view only when it's somebody is not like you. If you choose people to be in your forum, that's the wrong way to go. Just random people, let them come onto your forum and it will be a success as long as you follow the structure.
That's why they call it a peer group. It's a peer circle. So it's random, but it's peers. People whom you really equate yourself with and look up to.
And also, issues that come up in life, you will appreciate doesn't happen only to you. Everybody has got some things that go on in either their families or in their business. They've all faced issues, and that's what comes out in experience sharing. When people share their experiences of how they have solved a certain issue, and it's not just them. If they have not been through that, they will know somebody else who's been through such a experience, and they bring that to the table. So that helps you to understand that you're not the only one to have gone through this issue. There are others who are going on. That helps you reduce your stress. So that's a very important thing. To make a rational decision, you need to be stress-free. And understanding that others are also going through a similar problem reduces your stress.
Harish, there's a lot of importance played by the world of forums within the world of learning. It's almost a compulsion. They say the big five spend about 33% of their time constantly sharpening their pencils, and it's always on to learning. Most entrepreneurs stop this learning process. They do not attend regular learning. Forums compel you to practically go through a learning calendar. In DLC, we've created a 12-month learning calendar, which is indoors and outdoors combination both. So a trip to the base camp is a must. But that would have never happened hadn't you been a part of the forum. Or going on a bike vacation, which supposing somebody is not a biker would have never happened. But because your forum does it, you're compelled to do it. Why don't you throw some light across on the kind of learnings that you had through the last 17 years in the world of forums?
Oh. Okay, this is, I think, new for us. In the forums, we don't force anybody to have experience, but automatically it comes. Every month we meet. That's number one, right? And every year we go out on a retreat. Normally we go out of the country, but this time we went to Goa. So when I was getting these phone calls in the breaks, the phones are all off. So only in the breaks you can take the phone. And when you go on a retreat, it's a day-long thing. It starts in the morning at about 8 o'clock over breakfast, ends with dinner. So it's bonding and also experience sharing and all that. So some people, friends called me, family called me. In Goa means they are thinking I'm in the beach, but no, we are in the hotel. It's just a place outside because we will not get any disturbance, from the office or from friends and family. I think this is a very good thing if you are insisting on one experience sharing. This is a new thing for us. We haven't introduced that into our YPO.
But we do have networks in YPO.
Yeah.
So you can choose to be where I actually went to the base camp. And I'm not a trekker. But I did manage to go, and so the network helped me I registered because I wanted to be in that environment. I was 2 hours behind everyone else every day at the end of 9 hours of trekking, but I made it. And I felt, yay. So
there are many things in a forum that you will benefit. Suppose you have some issue in the office or in your company, you can put forth that issue to the forum, and there will be, all these are very experienced CEOs and first generation, most of them are first generation entrepreneurs. So they will come out with their experience sharing, which will be very helpful to you. Shobha's husband Vagesh is my forum buddy for last 17 years. And I know him more than she knows, by the way. She will not agree, but I know him more than... Because there are certain things that you can't even disclose to your spouse, right?
a little insecure right now.
But this is, there's some issue in the company. We can't go and worry our family about it, right? So, but we discuss. So I know him, that's why I'm saying I know him more than even the spouse, so, right? That's how serious a forum is. And there is formats that we follow. Believe it or not, we cry in the forums. When we explain some of our problems or when we talk about our lifeline, from 5 years, 10 years, we go on talking about the lifeline. So somewhere your mother dies or something happens to you. So everything comes out so that the other forum members understand. And we cry also. But remember one thing, practicing confidentiality is not easy. Like one of the examples they give in a forum is that there is this guy who told the forum members that his wife was pregnant and they had a abortion, right? Or a miscarriage, or sorry. And in the evening they meet, the spouses, and suddenly the other guy says, sorry, so-and-so, you had a miscarriage. That's it, gone. She became depressed. Even such small things cannot be disclosed out. Whatever discussed inside, you have to. So this needs practice. It's not easy. Initially, first year was very, very scary for me because whatever my forum buddies were disclosing to me, to keep it in my mind, because I can't even discuss with anyone about it. Forget about my own spouse or friends or anybody. Even those, we keep it so serious, we don't even discuss those issues even if the others are facing it. The same issue somebody else is facing, we just keep numb. We behave as if we don't know anything. So that serious are the forums. This is like biggest bonding. So believe me.
The structure I think is also again very important. And we start with updates. And from the updates, the moderator normally brings out presentation issues. And from the issues, the presentation itself, you have a coach who will tell you how to make the presentation, and from the presentation there will be experience sharing, and that's how you derive take-home value from the presentation.
And use the parking lot for whatever needs to be left balanced. Yes. So we modified the process. We do not have a coach because we believe that's slightly outdated. Everybody knows everybody quite well. So we've reduced it down across, and we do the 3 S's, but that's more technical. What we insist every forum meeting is to bring in an external resource. What happens is, sir is sitting here, at any level, every man needs to improve his knowledge. He may not have wanted to meet a strategy consultant, but suddenly there's a strategy guy, or suddenly there's an insurance expert, or suddenly there's a mental health expert who makes you realize that, dude, 70-80% of us are going through depression. And how do you handle it? So because the mental health person came in as an external resource, now you're starting to think about it. Or your mother at home is not, you thought she's not well, but she's going through depression. All of this happens thanks to external resources coming in and kind of illuminating your mind and going off.
In DLC, do you allow members, bureaucrats as members? Number one. Number two is your forum, participating in the forum compulsory if I am a DLC member? Is it compulsory or optional?
It's optional. And the purpose of it being optional, I decided not to join a forum for a year after becoming a member of EO. The other day I met somebody in Ahmedabad who was a member of YPO Ahmedabad chapter, 6 years. He joined a forum 1 year back. 5 years he was not into forums. You cannot make anything compulsory. Even attending events in DLC is not compulsory. Point system, rating system, putting fine penalties. I think these served a purpose 20 years back, but not today.
So it should be attractive enough for them to
absolutely.
come on their own.
And that's where you go and get value. Business and lifestyle. No, you get business and lifestyle together. So the wives and the children will never mind coming because there's a lifestyle component to it. So if you look at the DLC events, style. Yes, we give 50% importance to lifestyle. At the end of the day, a life of success to a life of significance. Significant life cannot be lived without a lifestyle and without wanting to touch other human lives. So it's all a part and parcel of empathy. How do you build in empathy? So that's one of the things we've done in DLC. There's an induction for all our members, and there's a whole one-day program purely on empathy and design thinking principles. Because to actually educate somebody or a kind of enlighten somebody, you need to prepare him. So a course on empathy prepares the person to be able to take life head on ahead. Yes, there are so many bureaucrats who are members of DLC, and they are welcome. They are humans, as human as you and I. They go through more amount of stress than we do. So it's for us, combination of entrepreneurs, professionals and young leaders. Many times YPOers and EOers think that, oh, but this one is not an entrepreneur. This one just come back from Harvard. Why do you want to make him a member? It's very important to have the next generation close to you, because if you want to leapfrog, the next level of ideas are going to come from the next generation.
That's what I'm missing.
Yes, and to have forums constituting of different age brackets. My 3 kids are, my daughter is 26, LBS graduate. My youngest forum member, his wife has just delivered. So he's 30. So, within our forum, we have this age variation and we love it because there's so much to learn from each other. Pleasure to speak with both of you.
Thank you,
you all for listening to us.